The next stop is On the Radar Radio.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Yes, sir, baby. On the Radar Radio. Yo, special guest in the building. My guy, Crimeapple, is in the building.
Yes,
How
sir.
are you today, my brother?
My guy. Good to see you again. Yep.
Good to see you too, man.
Yep.
How's life?
Good, man. Life is good. Blessed, man. Fortunate.
We getting ready for El Cantante.
El Cantante, yeah, January 27th.
Very exciting. Might be out by the time y'all see this, so go get that.
Yep.
This is a Spanish one, this is an English one, this is a little mix.
This is predominantly English.
Predominantly English.
Predominantly English.
Okay.
Yep. Just talking that shit, you know what I'm saying? Real life shit, just talking about what's going on, you know what I'm saying?
What's been going on with you lately? What you been going through, man?
January 27th. You know, it's just everyday shit, you know what I'm saying? It's literally, you'll find things on there, anecdotes from, you know, family stuff, my love life, my everything, you know what I'm saying? The plays we bussin', everything.
I think when you announced it, like the first comment I saw was a fan going like, "Oh, so we just nonstop 2023 then?"
Yeah, definitely going in. You know, I'm trying to just outdo myself. You know what I'm saying?
But
I feel like
you do so much though.
Nah, I know, and but I was like having a moment of clarity where it's not about like even like trying to even put out like a whole bunch of music. You know what I'm saying? But I think what I mean by saying I'm gonna outdo myself is even just like the quality of the content. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like I might have just kind of coasted through the last 2 years, and people might not even notice, but I noticed. So I'm like, you know what? Like I know I'm giving y'all like, you know how I say you use like 10% of your brain, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I feel like that's what I was doing the last 2 years. So, you know, yeah, I'm about to turn up.
What do you feel like you coasted through then? Do you just feel like obviously the quality of the music is there, right?
Right.
Obviously the quality is there, so it's like kind of hard when you say, "Oh, I've coasted through," or like I feel like I've coasted through these past 2 years. I'm sure a lot of your fans would be like, "What the hell is he talking about?"
It's so, like, yo, and they should be excited about that because it's like if you think that song,
I'm also excited. Yeah.
If you think that song was good, like I know I could have made one that was greater. You know what I'm saying? So it's like even just with my pen, my beat selection, even just like I'm like cheeseclothing my work right now. You know what I'm saying? To filter out like there's certain songs that might have come out in the last 2 years that maybe shouldn't have made the album. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But when life's good and everything's going all right. Yeah, somebody's gonna love that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But now I'm more like, I need to love that shit. Give a fuck about what y'all love, you know what I'm saying?
Do you feel like when you talk about coasting, do you feel like it's just because you've been going through like a lot of life experiences? Like, you and I were talking about like how you've been traveling a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
And
You
things
know
like
how
that
you
too.
be busy and shit. You know, you're busy, the looks are coming in, the money's coming in. You might not, be have the time to be self-aware, to be critical of yourself like that. So I kind of just slowed down. I canceled a couple trips in December. I was like, let me sit down for a minute and stay in Jersey for like more than a month, which I haven't done in like fucking, 3 years or more.
Yeah.
And I did that, and I just, locked myself in the studio, cooking new shit, also revisiting old things, and just seeing what I love about old things, seeing what I don't love about old things. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just out here trying to be the best Crimeapple I can be.
So you got to finally sit down and kind of like, everything you just said, but also kind of like, be able to take everything in that's happened already.
Yeah, which is hard to do when you're moving.
Of course.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? There'll be albums that come out and I haven't even heard them. I heard them when I was making them, but they come out, I'm not listening to it. It's like I've been heard that.
Right, because it's old to you at that point. It's like a year. Because some of it could be a year plus music that old that like you're like, okay, I'm done.
Exactly.
With this.
So just sitting like that and just dissecting everything and actually like being super critical, analytical about shit and just knowing my skill set and being like, all right, let me give you some puree right now.
Right. You said there were some things that you had learned that like, you when you analyzed, you sat down, there's like some things you liked and some things you didn't like, right?
Yeah.
What were something from each side of that coin?
Shit. I mean, I would say some of the things, like I said, it's certain songs that maybe just shouldn't have made the cuts of certain albums. And it's like, so much music comes out that it's like,
right.
You want to be like overly critical to pinpoint, be like, yo, I hate this song. Because I don't. There's nothing like, it would never come out if I felt that way about it. But it's just certain things, you know what I'm saying? Even like when like, damn, I could have put a fly bridge on that song, or yo, I could have hit this cadence on this chorus, and I just, you know what I'm saying? I didn't sit with it long enough.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So fans should be excited that we're like, gonna get an even better version of you than we've already gotten this past 2 years.
Yeah, more refined, more thought out.
Spending more time in Jersey.
Spending more time in Jersey, not for sure. Just going back to the old block and riding around the old block too. You know what I'm saying? And soaking that up in, and just trying to put myself, you know what I'm saying, like in that mind frame. Like I'm spending time writing joints in, fucking just the old area. You know what I'm saying? The old building. Still go to the old building and sit in the apartment and shit. And it's a vibe for sure. It's some shit.
Do you do you often get like people don't believe that you're from Jersey sometimes? Because I feel like if we had just met, I would be like, I didn't even know he was from Jersey. That's kind of cool though.
What am I giving off? New York?
A little bit.
A little bit of New York. Yeah, I mean, we're all like, well, the part of I spent the last, 15 or 20 years living in Hudson County, which is like, depending on exactly what part you're in, 5 to 10 minutes away.
Right.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've had people come pull up and it's like Diet New York. You know what I mean?
Diet New York is crazy.
So we kind of vibe the same and shit.
Yeah,
It's a little differences and shit in the way we talk and certain things, but
I love that you are from Jersey because like, when I talk about like Jersey recently and all the Jersey artists that we had on the show, it's like we've been getting like the little sprinkles of everying, right? Whether it be like
it's a big state.
It's a big state. A lot of the club music.
Big state,
You have people like yourself. You have the Albie Owls, the Mr. Chickens, like the Bandman Rills, the so on and so forth, like the BBG Steppers who make drill music.
So much variety. Yeah.
Hella variety. And I feel like now, I think of like when Albie was talking about how like, Jersey doesn't always get the type of support. I feel like now it's starting to, come around where you're starting to see more of that support be there. I mean, I'm doing what I can because I love the music scene over there and I love what y'all have created. But, you start to see more of like the Jersey stuff kind of becoming at the forefront of like what people are talking about too now.
I love that for anyone who's coming up now too. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I've never like, you can go through my discography and even interviews, whatever the case may be. Bro, I might have been like Jersey on like one record out of like 10 albums. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't claim it like that because it never claimed me. Like Jersey didn't do nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? And that's no knock. Like I love where I'm from. Like I could have been left. I could have been moved. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like I love being able to go to the spots that you know what I'm saying? Like I love Jersey. But I just never, you know what I'm saying, felt like it was something that I could really claim. It just felt corny. You know what I'm saying? They never did nothing for me like that. There was no support. You're never a prophet in your own land. So I had to go far. I had to leave. I had to go far away. You know what I'm saying? To get those shit. Like I started getting the praise from, people in the weirdest places, different countries, states, Nebraska, fucking.
I was gonna say, what's the weirdest place?
Oh man, what in terms of it? And I'm talking the beginning. In the beginning, it was just the wildest shit. Was that like I could, literally walk down the street and like no one. There's not even a fucking chance that someone's gonna be like, oh shit, it's Crimeapple. But meanwhile, you got, people hollering from like the Philippines or people hollering from, Bumblefuck, Florida, or, you know what I'm saying? Just all that type of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like fans in El Paso and just all types of wild shit. And I noticed that early on and it was like, yeah, Jersey ain't, there just wasn't a scene when I was coming up. It was very small, very, very, very small. It wasn't really moving like that. And it wasn't like a whole lot of, talents. People trying to give them credit, but I always felt out of place. I was like, man, I'm a beast. Like, I don't belong at this fucking open mic right now. You know what I'm saying? But that's why, but it's great that, there's something that's being cultivated now for the people that are coming up over the next, whatever, 5, 10, however many years. It's dope.
A foundation.
Maybe you could put some, like you could feel like that pride coming from where you're from. And still, shout to Redman, Queen Latifah, Naughty by Nature. Like, we got legends.
Right.
It's been far and few in between though.
Yeah. Like, I feel like you have like one bigger artist come out every couple years and then but then you don't even realize some of them are from Jersey. Obviously you have like the Fetty Waps who are from Jersey, right? But then you also have Coi Leray who at first you wouldn't know Coi's from Jersey, but Coi is from Jersey too. And like
they're all so different.
And they're all so different. Yeah.
It's also different. So you can't like tie the thread through all the music the way you can say like a scene like a Detroit music scene right now.
Or Memphis.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't do it. Everyone's just so different.
But I think that's what makes Jersey also really dope too. And to your point, yeah, like now that there's like a foundation and all, and like, even what you've done. And I had somebody here last night, he's a Spanish artist from Uptown. He's like, yo, bro, he's like, I know some crazy like Spanish speaking artists from Jersey. And I'm like, word? Put me on. Let me find out that Jersey got like a. Obviously, we know you speak Spanish, but like in the reggaeton sense and like the dembow and all that shit like that. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. I'm like, I need to tap in with that too.
All types of shit. So much variety, dog. It's crazy. It's a lot of variety, and I'm hearing a lot of shit that I like. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Even shit that has a lot of potential where I really didn't see that when I was younger.
Right.
So it's dope.
What year do you feel like you officially started really feeling like this is serious? This is my path. This is my purpose. The music.
Shit. I mean, it depends on how you look at it, but I think probably when it started like paying the bills, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it was a day where I looked at like my bank account, and it was more like rap money in the bank than there was from like this gig I had doing some accounting work. I was like, damn, I fucking hate this job too. But I didn't know, you know, so it was still so new. Like the shit wasn't like coming in like clockwork. It was just that particular day I looked, and it's like, damn, man, like fuck it. And that's when not only did I know, like it had to work.
Right.
Because I just stopped
plan
going. I didn't even quit. I just stopped going to work. I just stopped going to work. I just didn't show up one day. I'm like, what's up? I'm sick. I'll let you know when I feel better. I'm sick. I ain't go back.
I saw somewhere online that you like maybe taught. You were an assistant teacher.
I did. You know what? I substitute teach.
Substitute. Substitute.
Yeah, I did every job under the sun. You know what I'm saying? There was like, it's funny because I was thinking about this the other day. There's only been like one thing that's ever interfered with like, you know, my discomfort with not having money. Because I'm always like, I started working when I was 13 off the books when you couldn't even have a job. You know, so I used to work at a deli / liquor store. Like I was always trying to get it. I mean, I've been a janitor. I've moved furniture. I've hustled. I've been a substitute teacher. I've worked at the ice cream parlor. I've worked at Baby Gap. Like you know what I'm saying? The only thing that's ever really taken me off my pivot, where it's like, you know what, you know what I'm saying? I'll be okay without making money right now. I was just wanting to make music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the only thing. And then, you know, when I was able to find that synergy between the two, that's it. Here we are.
Right. Do you feel like because like, you know, that's talking about like the money, but like I guess like in like kind of like the public consciousness, like I was like looking at like some older stuff, and I feel like and even when I was talking to my boy Joey, who is a super fan of yours too, we were discussing about it. And
Shout out to Joey.
Shout out to Joey. He wanted to be here today, but he couldn't. But we were talking about I was like, yo, bro. So like for you, what was like the defining moment for you with Crime? Like what was like, you know what I'm saying? Since you've been like such a long time fan, and we were talking about like I think it was like he said 2017 Static Selector show. Something was said 2017 Static Selector.
Yeah, shout out to Static. I mean, just funny enough, I was sitting at that same ass job that I didn't go back to, and a lot of the time that I spent there, it was kind of like, I was like, that shit ain't gonna happen for me. I was always gonna make music though. I'm a writer. I was always gonna write and shit. But there'll be some days where I'm like, man, I might still have a chance. And I think I had just like cold DM'd a bunch of people who were whatever on radio and shit. And he was like the one person who responded. I didn't think anyone was even gonna see that shit. You know what I'm saying? So by the time I had even seen it, it was like a day later. And he hit me like the same day type, you can come up tomorrow?
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the message like 2 hours before I'm supposed to be there. Holy shit. Like, yo, I got a family emergency. I gotta go. So yeah, I went up there and that was it. I went off for like 10 minutes. By the time I got off the elevator, you know what I'm saying, I had mad text messages. You know, he was texting me like, yo, if anyone hit you about what just happened tonight, come to me first. I want to link and build and this, that, and so I just knew. I was like, all right. I just flexed, you know what I'm saying? I know when I walked in, you know what I'm saying, it was like, oh, who the fuck is this kid? You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. Can I tell you a funny story that relates to that? The day that I got my Power 105.1 internship, they had hit me my email for the last time, and it was 8 in the morning. I woke up, and they were like, hey, this is our last time trying to reach out to you. Can you come in today at 11 a.m.? And I was like, fuck, I was in Queens, living in Queens, but my suit was in Long Island at my folks' house. So I had to drive from Queens to Long Island. It's May 2016, 2017, and 82 degrees out, right? So I drive, go pick it up. I'm like still in my pajamas, pick the suit up, bring it back to the dorm room, change in the dorm room, then get on the Q46 bus, blah, 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 blah. Make it to the station, sweating in a suit. I get up to the station.
Looking crazy.
Looking crazy. I mean, I look good. I had the hair slicked back. I was really on my body shit, right? And they're like, I walk in, they're like, why'd you wear a suit? And I was like, damn. but I did the interview and I ended up getting the job. And, you know, one thing led to another, and that's why we're here today with On the Radar. But it's just funny how it's like these last minute moments or last second moments in your life that become such defining factors.
Nah, and even that thing where like you was probably missing emails because you ain't, you know, you might not have expected it to go like this, right?
Yeah.
And then that, you know what I'm saying? So you because if you like expect it, you're on it. You're like, you know what I mean? We catching the responses late because we're like, yeah, I ain't.
Yeah. I wasn't
Sure.
expecting the email.
Sure.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yo, Cal, take my phone because someone's gonna be here in like 8 minutes. But yeah, nah, like, but I think that's kind of like the coolest part of these type of stories is because like you look back on it and you're like, wow, I almost missed my biggest opportunity at the time by an inch.
Yep, by a chin hair. Yeah, it's crazy.
But we made it here to this day.
Nah, lit.
And
Bro.
we've been talking about traveling, right? So you were telling me last time we saw each other, we were talking about like you travel. I think you were in Spain for a little while.
Yep.
Obviously Colombia. You've been back and forth to Colombia quite a bit of times.
Every year, yeah.
Every year. How much time do you spend in Colombia a year now?
It depends. I mean, you make 4 or 5 trips a year.
Okay,
You
that's
know what
a
I'm
good
saying? A couple weeks of time. So you want to say maybe like a month or 2, 3 maybe, most. But yeah, no, I'm always out there. I got a lot of family out there. Yeah, man, I move around, dog. Europe, you know, and sometimes most of the time it's work related. Sometimes it's just me like doing that shit where it's just like, you know what, I just want to go there.
Yeah.
And I'll make everything else fall into place. You know what I'm saying? Because there've been times where I like had no shows in Europe, but I'm like, yo, I'm going to Europe,
Right.
and then I just end up doing shows. You know what I'm saying?
How has what do you feel like was like the most life-changing overseas experience for you in terms or most eye-opening? Because I feel like when we talk to
Eye-opening?
artists, yeah, like artists always have like these like moments of realization or when they go on tour or they're overseas. Whether it's about yourself, life, your career.
I mean, you know what? How much alike we all are. You know what I'm saying?
Like people in general.
Yeah, just the way we are. You know what I'm saying? Just how much alike we actually really are. You know what I'm saying? Because we have like nationalism will lead us to believe certain things and stereotypes. But you know, sometimes you go somewhere and it's like, bro, you know, we're all the same. You know what I mean?
You just like me.
Yeah, type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all care about the same shit. You know what I'm saying? I remember sitting in like Paris one day. It was wild. I found a Colombian restaurant, which I would never think to find. But
In Paris?
yeah, but right. But the more I've gone to Europe, they're like everywhere. Colombian restaurants in Rome, in Italy, in London. You know what I'm saying? A few, not a whole bunch. It ain't like going to Elizabeth, New Jersey, or nothing like that, where they're like on every corner. But they be out there. So it's like my people's out there. I'm sitting there eating dinner in a Colombian restaurant. And I guess someone sees my story or some shit, and some French dudes pull up with like a stack of vinyl like this big. You know what I'm saying? And the owner of the restaurant is looking at me like, who the fuck is this? And it's like wild shit like that. It's like, yo, this is fucking bugged out. But yeah, we're all a lot, you know, we're all a lot more alike than we all think sometimes.
That's like me thinking about when my boss went to Paris. He's like, bro, all I heard when I was out there, this is like 2021. And he was like, oh, all I heard out there from people's cars, like every 10 minutes was Pop Smoke. And it's like, wow, they really just like us. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yeah, facts. They fuck with everything. They just the same way we have variety here. You know what I'm saying? They fuck with it, and they got their different sounds and shit too.
Right.
You know?
Last year you dropped a instrumental album to your 2019 project, right? I don't want to butcher the name because I feel like I'm gonna say this wrong. Veridi Panama, right? Is that right?
Veridi Panama, yeah.
Veridi Panama, right? So with that, right? Obviously, the instrumental album comes out 3 years after the original project. What was the reason behind that?
It really is. Again, that's you could look at that's not like a release that I'm really responsible for. That's like the producer. You know what I'm saying? My good homie
gotcha.
Buck Dudley. Because once you take me off of it, now it's not a it's not a crime
it has
album.
it just goes.
It's just it's him getting the beats out there. And I would like to do that in more cases because I know there's people who appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? The music part of it and might not want to hear me on the beats. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it helps someone get their pen sharp, but no real rhyme or reason for that. You know what I'm saying? It's just to, supply and demand. I know there's people who want to hear those beats like that. We knew that, so let them enjoy the beats.
Right, because I wasn't sure if this is like the beginning of like Crimeapple's gonna start doing that.
Yeah, nah. I mean, I can't. That's really not up to me because I don't, I don't know how to make beats. So that's at the discretion of the producers and shit.
Okay, got you.
That's not my forte.
Got you.
I could find the samples for them, but I can't make the beats.
Is there a
can't.
favorite sample you have that you've done?
That I've picked out.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
I'm sure it's probably one you probably couldn't have even cleared or something like that, because that's what always the case is. I feel
Dog,
like.
I ain't clearing shit.
Respectfully.
Let's be clear. Respectfully, I'm not clearing a goddamn thing.
Respectfully.
It's hard. I mean, I know one time there's a song called Purple Rain. I wouldn't say that I necessarily picked the sample, but Skiz was pushed out to Skiz. He was playing the record, and I remember it was kind of just like, he was just kind of going through it. He almost like missed the part that I really loved, and I was like, nah. And that's
that
like one
right
of my
there.
most streamed songs on Spotify. So that was like a crazy flip right there.
Do you ever get like dinged for those? Like, do you ever?
Nah, thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah, thank God.
Now
Thank
go wait.
God.
Hold on.
Yeah, nah, it ain't nothing to it. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, like we're, I'm fully aware that that's some shit that could come down the road, and we got, people who play instruments and a lot of talent. You know what I'm saying? In the circle that we could work around that shit if need be, but that's like major label bullshit. That's not really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's not my type of problem that I'm gonna face doing what I do in the lane that I have. I have a very like beautiful niche, career and following going where that's probably not gonna happen.
Right. I was gonna say like, what happens if you like, well, not just with the sample, but in general, like, that niche audience becomes like a mainstream audience too. Like, would you be prepared for that moment? You know what I'm saying? And if then, would
Yeah,
you
like I
want-
said,
would
we
you want
have
that moment too.
It depends. Yes and no, right? It's funny. I was talking to my older brother. I was talking to my older brother about this recently.
Mhm.
He's actually worked in the industry for years, you know what I'm saying? But we've just never worked together because it's just two different worlds, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of
Like he
course.
does deals that are like millions of dollars, the biggest artist you could think of. And and sometimes I'll pull his chain and shit, you know what I'm saying? And talk about, just the difference, the disparity and the things that the worlds that we're in, and yo, what's up? Like, take me over there with you and shit. Just fucking around though, because I know it's so different. And and he reminds me all the time. It's like, bro, what you're doing is like great because, like, me and the people that I know, and then they're not signing people based on talent. They're like working at a hedge fund right now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just different. They don't sign based on talent. And you have all those things that come with it. You know what I'm saying? Crazy song. Next thing you know, the sample's not cleared. You're getting charged. They're taking all the
Right.
publishing, and they're gonna charge you.
Mhm.
All types of shit like that. So I mean, I don't know. It's like it's like the way I look at it is like right now, it's like I went to college. I live by myself. You know what I'm saying? I do what I want. I wake up when I want. I eat if I want to eat a bowl of cereal for dinner. I can do that.
We love
I
a bowl of cereal for dinner though.
I'm just saying, if I sign to a major label, now it's like, yo, you can't have whatever. You can't have tits in this video or a gun in this video, or you know what I'm saying? Like just like all the yellow tape, red tape you could think of, like this. So I don't know. I really don't know. I'm not actively pursuing it though. No,
Right.
I could give a fuck. I think their whole system is like played out. But if somebody can figure it out and do it the right way, shit.
Like the major label system is played out.
So for my skill set and what I bring to the culture, you know what I'm saying? Like that shit don't work
Right.
for any of my peers or anyone who comes up in the algorithm with my music. It doesn't work.
Yeah, nah, I definitely can see that, especially because like when I think of like samples, even with like a lot of the artists who I work with today, whether it be like even like Cash Cobain, who is a producer, who all of his stuff is sampled. Like a lot of they all have the same sentiments. They'd be like, oh yeah, like it doesn't matter if I sample this record, like I'm gonna put it out anyway. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
don't
clear
get
it.
it. Yeah,
and if it blows up, and if the major label stuff comes around, then it's like, you deal with that demon when it comes. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about all that. That shit, like, there's no one in my peer group that's doing the kind of hip hop that I do. And there's a lot of great artists that do it who have been able to benefit from any of that in that world. That shit just don't really work for us.
Right. You talked about, Skiz, and obviously, you Skiz, Muggs, ton of projects with each one. How many projects are we getting with you and each one of them this year, if that's already in play?
Who knows? There's definitely a lot of records that haven't come out, so we'll see what it is. I look at both of those guys like, like family and shit, just because of the art that we've made and the experiences and the countries that we've been to, because I've traveled a lot with both of them.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't say if anything's coming out from me and those guys this year, but definitely more music with them. That's like, that's home team.
Yeah, that's expected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's a given.
But also, you know, we have these conversations a lot nowadays where too, even like I've started noticing that some of I feel like the producer and artist trend obviously started from this underground hip hop scene of bars and whatnot. But I see it starting to start into like a lot of the mainstream stuff that we're doing that's coming out now. Because, you know, whether it be like I've had a few conversations with some drill artists, they're like, yeah, I think I'm just gonna lock in with one producer and I'm just gonna keep the sound cohesive, right? And I'm like, huh, I wonder where I've heard that from before.
Right, yeah,
And it'd be
that's
like,
some
you know,
underground shit.
yeah, some underground shit, whether it be like you, Flea Lord, you know what I'm saying, so on and so forth. Like, you
Yep.
know, the Griselda guys, Boldy, you know what I'm saying, Get Well Boldy. But like, you know,
Yeah.
when you see stuff like that, it's like it's funny how what you guys had started, like, you know, the influence from the underground scene into like now with the mainstream stuff and what they're doing with like collaborating with just producers on projects, like one producer.
I mean, shit. Look, not to split hairs, right? You know, I don't know that the underground scene could take all of the credit in that respect because think about an album like Lord Willin' or Hell Hath No Fury.
True.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
But there's not a whole lot of it's very much more commonplace in underground hip hop, right?
Yeah.
And that, I mean, it's something to be said about it because a lot of artists don't have the capacity to executive produce their album and pick all these different producers and beats and make it cohesive. So when you got the one producer and y'all got like a real thing going, it's probably 9 times out of 10 gonna be better than just getting a fucking you know a melting pot of beats.
Right. I think it's more so what I was trying to say, like the trend of it. You know what I'm saying? The
No,
trend,
facts.
the
It's
trend
trendy
It's
now.
definitely happened
Facts.
before.
It's trendy now.
But you know, because obviously you could be like, oh, mainstream artists like 21 Savage and Metro, or you
Nah,
know what I'm
Nas
saying?
wasn't doing albums with like one producer, let alone 3 or 4 of them.
Right.
You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? That wasn't happening.
And now, like, you have artists, like, you
Right.
know, you do an album, there's like 15 songs. Each song is a different producer, you know what I'm saying? But I
Yep.
think, like, when you lock in with that one person and then, like, the sound just becomes so cohesive that you're able to, like, the album, it helps create a better environment of the project. Like, if you understand what I'm trying to say, like, it just feels like, you know, you're in the world of the artist and the producer and, like, they're taking you on a trip instead of it just sounding like maybe each song might sound different or little things might be different here and there. No, it's all, like, from top to bottom. It's like,
Nah, I feel like with
boom.
those albums where it's not one producer, you can still get good albums, but
Of
those
course.
albums run the risk more of having tracks that like get fast forwarded.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas like when it's one producer, there might be a song or two on there that's not your favorite, but you're still more likely to let that album ride and start over. You know what I'm saying?
And then eventually,
shit
like
could
the
just
project
spin.
the song will catch on to you.
Exactly.
Maybe you hope, you know what I'm saying?
Facts. Yep.
So we got more music with them. Also, like, you know, when you do kind of like the swapping of like rapping in Spanish to English, is it just kind of like for you? Is it like planned or is it just kind of like how you feeling? Like, how do you kind of approach that too?
Yeah, you know it's funny. I had a close friend, shout out to Carlos. Love you, boy. Appreciate you. He was trying to get me to rap in Spanish back in the day. Back in the day. He thought it was because he just thought it would take off, you know what I'm saying? And it was just very unnatural to me. You know what I'm saying? Very, very unnatural. And I did like maybe, I don't know, like 2 songs or something in Spanish. And this shit was fire. Super fire. But it wasn't what came naturally to me. You know what I'm saying? It took years. You know what I'm saying? I think as we get older sometimes, we get more in touch with like our roots and shit and you know everything, family, where we're from and shit.
Yeah.
So I think I just let it come in naturally. And now it's just there. It's just natural. It's not about like, yo, I need a Spanish bar here. Nah. If that's how I'm feeling, that's how I'm feeling. You know what I'm saying? I speak Spanish every day though.
Right.
It's not, you know what I'm saying? I know at some point in the beginning, there definitely might have been like some skeptics who were like, you know what I'm saying? You know, he's trying to do something, he's trying to force it or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But I'm not, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, shit. I be in South America way more than your average South American descendant. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really out there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Me, the whole team, really out there.
Yeah. Probably more than a lot of Spanish artists from out here too, who are from New York too. You probably
Facts. I mean, I'll be out there more. I mean, I'll be out there more than a lot of my like family that's here, cousins that I grew up with.
Yeah.
Most of them never even been there.
That's crazy.
I've been going there since I was like 4 years old.
It's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Months at a time. So it's like I'm not pump faking for nobody. That's just what comes naturally to me. I don't really plan that out. It's just when it feels like it's like one language to me. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't look at it like I'm rapping in 2 languages.
Yeah.
Doing me.
That's dope. We also got a little mood enhancer thing that you've been working on.
Absolutely. It's like what would you call it? Yeah, it's like for the underground hip hop scene especially, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's tapped in. A lot of people's favorite artists in the underground scene know what time it is, you know what I'm saying? We get it to as many of the shows and events as we can.
Mm-hmm.
It's Fungus. You know, we like to call it a mood massage. It's a microdose tea. Follow fun.gus.bev. If you know, you know, you know. And it's not no like wacky shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like actual medicine. It's really like good for a lot of different things. Anxiety being one of them. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Which you know.
Yeah, nah, me
Which
too
I
sometimes, right?
yeah.
I had a bottle last night. I feel great today.
Really?
I wasn't seeing nothing. You know what I'm saying? It's really it's medicinal and it's all organic. There's not even sugar in there.
Do you deal with anxiety a lot?
I used to.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I used to, and it's hard to, but I didn't know.
Mm.
I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? You're growing up in an Hispanic household.
Of course.
And I had like, you know, male figures. I had a father, 2 older brothers. Like, you got time for that shit. It's tough love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In hindsight, now I can like figure it out. Like, oh, that's what that was. You know what I'm saying? But not so much now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm really him. Anxiety deals with me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
And you're able to now, you know how to combat it too.
Yeah, I mean, I'm, you know, I kick anxiety's ass. Like, fuck all that. I don't get a redo. When I'm gone, I'm gone. So it's like, I'm here, like, nuts hanging out on the table, just splat. Fuck all that. I ain't worried
Fuck
about
anxiety.
I ain't worried about nothing, bro. Life is good, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, life is good. You know, I do what I want, how I want it. I'm not signing nobody. You know what I'm saying? My fans are the best. They support me. Like, what the fuck could I be mad at? I feel better than I did when I was young. I mean, I'm literally the most attractive rapper in the underground scene. You know what I'm saying? It's not even up for debate. You know? Whether, you know, it's not even up for debate. Fucking so handsome. Like, anxiety for what? A lot of these dudes got bumps all over their face and shit. You know what I'm saying? Oh, look at me. She's crazy. I can't have no anxiety. It's just like, this is a miracle.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like,
not fucking crime.
I'm a crack baby. Like, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is bananas. Anxiety deals with me. Real talk.
Anxiety deals with him.
Real talk.
Go get you some fungus.
Get you some Fungus. Yeah, we just dropped the blueberry lemonade.
Fungus. If you know, you know. If you know, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You
look,
tried it? How was it?
it was good, man. I didn't do too much because I don't do a lot of the microdosing, but I did like.
How about the taste?
Just enough. It tasted good.
Natural.
Natural, yeah. It didn't really taste like anything. I didn't know what I was gonna taste like going into it, but it tasted natural, tasted good. Didn't taste like, you know, it's like when I had drank like infused soda before, you know what I'm saying? And that kind of has like a weird taste to it. You know what I'm saying? Because the bubbles.
Yeah, you taste what's in there.
Yeah, you taste what's in there.
The illicit substance, right?
The illicit
you
substance
don't taste
that's
that
in
shit,
there.
not shit, yeah.
But this didn't really taste like anything. I was like, oh wow, I could really drink this whole thing, and I probably wouldn't even, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm like, but if I drink this whole thing, I don't know how I'm gonna be. So I drank a little bit, but it definitely did help me out.
Trepidation is okay, but I promise you, anyone watching this who's interested, you could drink the whole thing. You're gonna be just fine. You're
Everything
gonna be
in
better
my-
than you were before you drink it.
Like crime, look, he's happy. We good. Anxiety's dealing with him. What's
Real
up?
talk. Real talk.
Well, look, man, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Yes.
The freestyle's out now, so go check that out. You know what I'm saying? New project out now by the time y'all are seeing this, so make sure you go run that up. Crime got a lot more in store for 2023. Before we get out of here, let the people know where they can follow you. Anything else you want about the fans, though? Now is the time to do it. This camera right here.
You know what it is. I'm Crimeapple, and if you don't know, you know, you can get familiar. Google's your friend. That's that. MyDecAWorldwide.com. You know what to do.
There you go. Make sure you go follow him. El Cantante out now, so go check that out. It's freestyle out now, so go check that out.
Toma.
There you go. Follow him. Go show him some love. Go show him some support. Love is free. Support is free. But y'all already knew that. Till next time. Crimeapple on the radar. We out. Bow.
All right.